Hi, in this video we'll be continuing with the C# tutorials. In this video we'll be doing the lab for the radio buttons. I thought there was check boxes in this as well, but it's a similar idea. We're just working with a check changed event. So I already have the GUI set up with a control, so you can pause the video and set it up. So it's just one group box here with a title. So it has 4 radio buttons in a group here. So remember, the group is in the group of radio buttons is in the group box. Thus, they all work together in this group box. So only one can be selected at a time. There's one button here. And that's pretty much it. So I'll just get started by, well, I accidentally clicked some of the stuff while I was making it by accident. But what I'll do is I'll just click the yellow radio button. That will generate that. Oh, sorry, I'll tell you the identifier names and stuff. So group box, I don't think we're using that, but it's just a colored group box. Camel case, everything's camel cased. So the next excuse me, apologize about that. So we have the yellow, yellow radio button. That's just camel cased. So just yellow radio button, camel case, starting with lowercase. Then same thing, red radio button, white radio button, and normal radio button. Then here we have exit button. Same thing. So let's start with the code here. So I'll just comment out the exception. Excuse me. So let's have so this should say yellow radio button underscore checked change. Yeah, that's correct. So we'll say if yellow radio button dot checked. So if yellow radio button dot checked, if yellow radio button dot checked, we'll say this dot back color, which is a Forms back color property, I believe. We'll say it points to color dot yellow. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll do the same for the rest of the colors, and that's all the code really is. So we're just learning how to work with the checked changed event, which is different than the checked event. So the checked event just checks when it's checked. It does, so you have to check if it's checked by. It's different than checked change. So in the previous lab we went over checked. So checked just checks. It doesn't check at real time when it's selected, like checked changed. Checked, just calling dot checked. So I'll just make a note of that if you don't know what it is. It's in the previous tutorial in the playlist. You can check that out on my channel if you're interested. And all the rest of the series, I'd recommend watching it. So it's dot checked, just like this. So that's a different property, which is different than checked changed. So checked changed is different than dot checked. They're both methods, they're just different properties. So checked basically just checks at a later time. You can check that it is checked, but it's not at real time, so it's not checking whether it's checked at that very second. You're checking if it's checked for a later time. Whereas checked changed is checking if it's checked at that exact moment that you want to check, or when it does change. So right when it changes, that's when the property can be basically used in an event handler. Whereas checked, you can save it for a later time. So if if you want check to change, that'll be when it changes at that exact moment that you want to do something. So let's just say someone checks yellow, right? For a checked changed event, then something would happen at the exact moment that they click. If you have a checked event, then you could select yellow, and then some later on time, like in 10 minutes, when you click this button, and if the yellow radio button is selected, then the button can do something 10 minutes later. So it's different than a check change event. So you'll get tested on that if you're taking it in school or university or whatever. Basically the difference between the properties. Okay, so let's go with the next color here. So we'll go with the red radio button. Just do the same here. We'll just double click it, generate the event handler. We'll say if red radio button dot checked. Did I do this wrong? I think I did. No. Dot check change is different. Okay. Dot checked. Then we want to. So in a checked changed event handler, you check if the red radio button is checked, or radio button is checked. Then we'll say this dot back color points to color dot red. Next one here. So if white radio button dot checked, we'll say this dot back color points to color dot white. And here we'll click the normal last one. I think something's messed up here. Don't want that. Don't want that. Probably have to go into the other backend code now and delete stuff because I accidentally clicked it before the identifier was changed. Because it's calling itself radio button 3 now, it's confused. That's not very helpful. Okay. This can glitch out like that, unless I just didn't change the name. Oh, it says normal radio button. Let me go with normal radio button. Does that work? Okay. Let me try this and see if it works. If not, I'll have to go into the... Yeah, I don't think that's working properly. There's a glitch here, because I clicked it before I changed the identifier name. Now it's all tricked out. So we'll just comment that out. So here we'll say if normal radio button. So if normal radio button dot checked, and we'll say this dot back color. We'll set the back color to default basically. So this dot back color points to system colors dot control. Okay. Exit button, we'll just go with this dot close. Actually, we don't even need to check that it's okay. We'll just change this name here so you guys understand. I'm not going to run it. Just going to change the color, no point in that. So we'll just have, if you guys want to run it, you can code it and run it just to see how it looks. It's just going to change the form's color, nothing crazy. To just some kind of, like normal colors. So this should be normal radio button underscore check. So we'll go over this later on, actually how to define and create these objects. For now, we'll just go with this. So this is the code here. Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. So when you click yellow, the checked changed event is going to occur at the exact same time. So the form's background color will change to yellow right when you click each radio button. Remember, you can only click one at a time. So every time you change it, the color changes. So if you change it to yellow, it changes to yellow. If you then click red, it changes to red. If you change to normal, it goes back to default. If you click white, it goes back to white. Then you can go back to yellow or red, whatever. And then exit will just close the form. That's pretty much the whole lab here. It didn't take too long. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like the tutorial, you can like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to support the channel for more programming and investing tutorials. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.